Hello, everybody. Um, in the last episode, we had brought the engine back here for service. I don't remember the controls. In a minute. There we go. Okay, so in this one, we're gonna get the engine taken apart and hopefully put back together and working. Like this exhaust manifold, it looks pretty good. Same goes for the carburetor. Oops. That'll be fine. We can assemble that later. But why is this not coming off? Okay. But oh, okay. We can go ahead and reinstall that, I believe. Or maybe not. I think those are different because that's the intake, that's the outtake, that's the exhaust. So yeah, it is different. But we're gonna salvage what we can, and then we're going to like rebuild the engine pretty much. We'll be working here in the light of the garage, so we won't have to like go to bed unless we're like really chronically tired. But pretty much just trying to take off the parts that I know work right now, and then replace the parts that don't. It's like the engine blew up a while back. Well, actually, it quit starting. That's all I know about it. I feel like it probably had something internal fall apart. Ooh. Whoops. Trying to lean over, but like not put my head in it. It's like all these look good. The dipstick looks good. But like if you check the oil, it's gonna look really bad. I just know it because it's totally black. Oh, oops. There we go. See, oh, there is no oil in it. Well, no wonder. Oh, there's probably no oil in it now because we're actually taking it apart. But there probably wasn't any oil in it to begin with. Like last time, whenever the engine exploded. Well, it wasn't last time, but like whenever the engine exploded, there probably wasn't any oil in it. Kind of reminds me of like the mechanic memes. It's like I know what's wrong with it. It ain't got no gas in it. So this here looks kind of messed up. It's probably good, but I'm just gonna replace it for good measure. When in doubt, throw it out. That's what I was taught. Back in the food industry, you know. I work in McDonald's 9 to 5. There we go. It's like it all looks good. It's like I know that the meat of it's gonna be bad in here because it's like we can already see that the drive shaft. It's pretty much non-existent. We might be missing some cylinder heads, just stuff like that. The oil pan looks good. Just try to keep it all sorted. I feel like if it were like a real garage, probably wouldn't be this neat. Who knows? Maybe it'd be more neat. Maybe people have higher standards than I've got. But just gonna put the good parts in one spot and the bad ones in another. Yeah, so the crankshaft, it's like totally rusted out. There's like two really good pistons and then two that are just like not usable at all. Come on, is it not gonna give me that? It's a bit odd. The engine head doesn't look too bad, but we're gonna replace that for good measure. It's got a little bit of brown right here. It could just be the lighting, but it's also like it's kind of got a weird texture to it that kind of looks like it could have been like busted up just a little bit. But we'll replace it for good measure because like we're gonna rally this car. Like we are definitely gonna rally it, and we'll want to remove the spark plugs because I know that there's higher horsepower spark plugs from the first time I've played this game. Just loosen all of them up. There's probably nothing wrong with the spark plugs. Like they don't look too bad. But just throw them out. We're gonna replace them for better stuff anyway. I am like really missing the margin. I'm like trying to throw them all in a pile so it'll be easy to pick up later, and then I'm just making a mess. But yep, there we go. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we're actually like busting the engine open now. We got crankshaft's looking good. We'll probably replace it though. Should probably just rebuild the engine from scratch at this point, but it's like that'd be expensive. Probably don't even have enough money for the block, but I need to stop getting so pessimistic like that. Be like, get in the zone. It looks like that timing, like the chain here for the timing is like messed up. Okay. Well, that just came out. There we go. A closer inspection. It doesn't look too bad. I think our camshaft's gonna be good. This chain, I think this is a chain. It's supposed to be a chain. Like that don't look too good. At least we're just like taking it apart, putting it back together like with new parts. So it shouldn't be so hard to figure out what we need to buy and like what we forgot to buy and whatnot, because it should just all be there. Like, you know, just use like that pile for reference. Like it looks like our head gasket's doing good. I can barely see it. Yep, it's good. Just like that looks good. The top of the block looks clean. Like it looks really clean for it being a beat up engine. Like I feel like it's it's like trying to trick me. Like lure me into a false sense of security. How do I rotate it? There's gotta be a way to rotate this, right? Like it looks like you'd just turn this here to turn the engine, but it's not working. Probably just user error. Okay. It's a lot more quality of life compared to like other car games, I will say that. For example, oh hey, saying we'll just replace all the pistons. There's probably going to be high horsepower pistons anyway. But it's a lot more quality of life in terms of like putting the car together. Like I've tried to play my garage before in the past, like just casually. It's like it was a nightmare. Like it was a total nightmare trying to play it because it's like it's very hard to tell like what you need to do. Like, there you go. Okay, so the clutch is still good. We can just remove the clutch. I can figure that out. I think it's just these bolts here. So this is the clutch. For anyone who's not drove manual, whoops. Where'd the other part go? Okay, there it is. There's the flywheel. Come on. So for anyone who's not drove manual, why can I not remove that? Give me the flywheel. Okay, so the flywheel, it's kind of like the output of the engine, and then the clutch, it's like, I should probably not install that yet. Got a mess in the floor over here. And we'll want this. This is the, this should be like a dampener, or like a clutch plate. Yeah, it's got like dampeners there. But the way the clutch works is like, you basically will press it, it detaches the engine from the transmission, and okay, the cylinders look good. I don't think I can pull those out though, but it disconnects the engine from the transmission. That way you don't really stall out. And if you do happen to stall out, or like say like when in doubt, like with a manual, you should just kind of like put your foot on the clutch. Like if the engine feels like it's gonna like doing something herky jerky, but it disconnects the transmission from the engine, and then when you're like slowing down to a stop, at that point the engine is just gonna like shut down on you, like unless you put in the clutch. So the engine, it shouldn't matter too much. It should just be I4, but being really specific. I wonder if we can get a bigger block in there, get like a 2-liter. Okay. It's like, no, we can't. And the block isn't really that expensive either. Just going off of memory. Yeah, that looks good. It's like going off of memory, and then also like what we've done so far. It's like looking here, trying to make sure I remember. Well, definitely you want another one of those. I believe this, I don't know if the timing chain is bad by this image, but just replace it for good measure. We can get like a performance carburetor. Maybe we should. But first look into the things that we actually need. It's like, I'm lost right now. Where are the horsepower spark plugs? It's like I'm seeing that we can actually get like horsepower parts, and that's like, okay. Just like get more power out of it. There's a lot more to it than I remember, but okay. I'm just looking at it. I'm a bit overwhelmed. I'm trying to remember where the performance spark plugs are. I think you have to actually go buy those from a store. Like, I think you actually physically have to go to a store for that. Okay. Remove this. We want the horsepower one. I remember it's from the Onion. I mean, no, not Onion. Donut. Donut Media. It's like horse purrs, more power, baby. There we go. Let's just tighten that onto the stand. Should be. I don't think it should automatically do that, but just to be sure. Cats. I actually had a one of the cats have been like stopping me a bit from production for a moment. Like it's like she was walking all over the keyboard, and it's just like can't have her walking on the keyboard to play a game that uses the keyboard. My goodness, we got so many parts here. It's kind of overwhelming, but we got this. We're gonna make our engine. It's gonna purr. If only the engine stand would let you like kind of work like a dynamometer, I believe, or like the idea of like you put maybe the timing chain. Oh, probably can't because this wrench in my hand. Ah, there we go. But I don't think it's necessarily a dynamometer that I'm thinking of. Just put that on there. Oh, you can't really put that on there until all the pistons are on. I'm getting ahead of myself. But there, like, I saw you can pull the throttle, like directly pull the throttle from. That's weird. Everything down there just jumped around. But I saw you can directly pull the throttle on the carburetor. And it'd be cool if you could kind of test like the RPMs and all that, like the RPM range. But then again, it's like you'd also need a radiator to do that, I assume. I never really worked on a real car. I'm gonna say that, but I like playing these games where you just like work on cars. It kind of started with Need for Speed Heat. My car history, it's pretty short. It starts with Need for Speed Heat. Someone came over to my house once, and I cooked them burgers. And, well, actually, we cooked burgers together. And then, so he came to my house, we cooked burgers together, and then, after we cooked burgers, we, whoops. Throw that one out just so we don't get it confused. So we cooked burgers together. We played Need for Speed Heat. More like taking turns playing it than it was like we were playing co-op or anything. We just need to be closer. But we were playing it. It got me hooked on like racing games, and then I got into Forza. Like I've seen Forza before. And so I got into Forza because I was like, okay, this looks goofy, right? It's just like I've seen content where people were just like pretty much making unrealistic like car builds, and I thought it was like really fun looking. Like you just be able to do what you want, world's your oyster, but with cars. And so then I tried to get good at the game, and I tried to learn about like the internal workings of a car to see if that could like help, or learn about which it ended up teaching me. It ended up teaching me manual, though I generally use manual, a clutch, and a like clutchless manual when I'm playing like a game like this. Shoot. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna put this on there, but so I generally use manual clutch when playing games like this, if it's an option. It's not always gonna be an option, like in BeamNG, for example. Like they actually force you to play with the transmission that's in the car, rather than you just picking your transmission type, you know? It's not like Forza where you can just click a button and it's like, oh, now you're driving manual. It's like you actually have to put a manual transmission in the car, which I think that's a nice little touch about it. The amount of detail that's in BeamNG, it's like, it is nuts. Just like, oh, you hit a bump, your tie rods are broke. And it's like, I really like how detailed it is. And then it's like, they recently had an update, which I'm thinking here soon I'll probably play the campaign mode on that update, because they did make changes to the campaign. Not that I've ever played it, because I just don't want to burn myself out on it, you know, before it's like a thing, like, you know, because it's still like really early access. So early access, they kind of try to hide it almost. It's like, I remember kind of getting distracted, but it's like, I remember it was it was like Car Mechanic Simulator, trying to remember which version, like 2021, right? The latest one that's out. And there's way too much DLC for me to really recommend it, unless like that's your thing. I would recommend really only getting the DLC that like you like. So there is like Mopar, there is Ford. They kind of like do these weird things where it's like they make cars that are real. Let's go get that new carburetor. They make cars that are real, right? But then they kind of hide it in a way. There we go. It's kind of weird that there's no like air filter on this carburetor. But shoot. I was talking about hiding something. I don't know. BeamNG though, they hide the career mode by a little button. It's just like you press the career mode button over and over and over. It's like grayed out, but it'll eventually work if you press it enough times. Okay. So I'm kind of like, that's a horsepower part, right? So we can move this one. We don't need that. Okay. Just install everything I can right now. I need to go get more horse plugs. Yeah, go get horsepower spark plugs, which is bought at the gas station, and then need to get oil. The oil will the oil's probably why this car exploded in the first place. Okay. Like, it had no oil in it. Like, that's how bad it was. Whoops. There we go. Okay. So, I'm probably just going to skip ahead real quick to me buying the, like, having come back with the spark plugs and the, can't remember what else it was. The spark plugs and the oil. So, yeah. See you in a jiffy. Alright, everybody. We are now back. To get the necessary like parts, I did have to binge eat all of my food. So we'll definitely want to like get that all fixed up. But we got a high horsepower engine like in the works. we're about done with it. And come to think of it, I should probably research why does like this kind of carburetor, it doesn't need a filter, and I wonder why. Because it's I've seen engines like that in like Dirt Rally, so it's non-fiction. It's like they're real cars, like they're based off of real cars. Like they've got a lot of like Ford, Lancia, like that type of cars, like some really fun ones. Like I'm hoping this one will be like a Ford Escort. I believe it's based off of the I believe it's called a Lada. It's by Ford. Like an overseas car. It's not really here in the States. Oh, whoops. I feel like I'm missing some things. Oh, okay. I just remembered what I'm missing. We're gonna get that. We're on it. It's like we've got this. Okay. It's like I forgot the totally forgot like the little pulley there. Okay. So this episode, we're doing really great for pace. We're going to get this engine replaced. Trying to find the part I need to order. Should probably order that too. So we're gonna have to take some parts out. It shouldn't take too long though. It's just gotta remove like some wires. There it is. Found the pulley. Alright. The engine's just about done. And honestly, this here is like all it really needs besides the like the belt. Well, I want to remove this though. F. There we go. I'm honestly like really happy, like stoked. Can't wait to see how this handles. So we're probably going to finish everything under the hood by the time this is done. Not just the engine. We're gonna like get the radiator hoses and whatnot fixed. So yeah, here we go. We got an engine. It's all built. It's ready to go. We need to get a new exhaust, like new exhaust pipes. And we're gonna want to put that as coolant. We've got the oil in our back pocket. I'm like Eminem. I got a laptop in my back pocket. There we go. Okay, forgot to take that off. Should probably just keep the oil with me and put it in when we get there. I'll probably want to take our coolant with us just to be sure. What else? Wrench. Just for good measure. Okay. So without further ado, got the engine. It's fully built. Oh, we gotta get the thumbnail picture. Okay. Without further ado, I don't get why I got quiet there, but we'll be back when the engine's over there. All right, and we're back. So we're gonna get this engine installed. Just do the simple bits right now. Yeah, the wires should be on there. We're not gonna fix the radiator hoses yet. We're gonna We're gonna swap those out here soon. We'll want to get the... Oh, the engine starter doesn't even seem like it was on there. Okay, no, we put the engine starter on there. It's just transmission. Basically just tighten all these bolts down, and then it'll be good. And then next time when we got this thing up and running, we're gonna have to fix the suspension, and we'll probably be able to take it to our first race. Assuming that the brake lines don't like break on us. It's like trying to anticipate that. There we go. Okay, I believe that's all we need right now. It should be assembled. Time for the oil! So I guess I didn't even need to bring it with me all out here anyway. Probably didn't have to eat all our food. Okay, we need to be really careful with that. Just set it on top of the car. Oh, whoops. There we go, okay. Woo! Lean over. Come on. Be good to us. Realistically, you wouldn't want to do this in the rain, because you'd probably fill the engine with water. We're filling it, okay. And that's one of the things that I find really difficult with this game. I think Mon Bizo does it better. I've played Mon Bizo. It's like My Summer Car, this game here. It's like one of those car games, but it does feel like pouring liquids is more quality of life than this. I don't really know for sure. I do know that pouring gasoline, though, it's so simple. Like, it's kind of like it clicks on. Check the oil, just to be sure. Probably needed like a little more. Okay. I don't think we necessarily need a little more, but just to be sure. We don't want to drown the engine with oil. I believe it has a minimum on it, though. So this, I know that trash can's functional. I'll just well go use it. It's like, I was thinking about that one, and then I was like, well, no. That's coolant? Oh, never mind. Okay. Psychopath. Over here, like, thinking I poured a coolant in the engine, which is pretty much the same as just pouring water in it. So antifreeze coolant. Antifreeze coolant, so it's for liquid-cooled engines. They used to be cooled by water, but the problem with cooling them with water is I believe they have a higher maximum temperature, because like water takes a long time to like heat up and cool down. But water would freeze in the wintertime and it would destroy your engine, so it wasn't good for the average consumer. Oil consumers. Makes it sound like you drink it. Don't drink oil. I remember Doug. Doug drinks olive oil. That's different. It's definitely not like you should be drinking like motor oil or like kerosene. Just do not do that. It's like advising against ruining your health. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because I remember someone saying that it's like used to, they would tell you everything you need to know. Like your car's owner manual used to have like schematics of how the engine are. And then nowadays it's like, Don't drink the oil. Don't eat this. Oh, whoops. Drop the dipstick. That'll be fine, right? I guess I should say, so in reality, if you're doing an oil change, I believe the way you'd do it is you would, I don't think the dipstick necessarily has to be in there, but I'm not sure. But, you kind of want to fill the filter with oil before you put the filter in there and before you put the oil in there. Because it's like, the oil is used to lubricate the engine. And as the car is running, it will kind of pump the oil from the, it'll pump the oil from the, brain fry. From the, like, filter to, like, so the way it works is it basically pumps oil from the oil pan. Like, it pours into the filter, then they pump it out of the filter into the top of the engine, like the header, like the engine head, and then it pours down back into that oil pan. Like, that's how it works. So that's why it's important you keep your oil filter filled up when you're going to...
Do you need tools?
Don't need nothing from you. Okay, well, the radiator. Looks like there's only one radiator you can get, thankfully. But we'll want these hoses. Hose 6. Upper and lower hose 6. That's actually interesting, though, because it's like, there's 6 different hoses in the game. 2 of them, like, but half of them are upper and the other half are lower. So how does that figure? But, because it's like, did they just copy and paste the name and change, like, the upper and lower part? Like, that seems to be what happened. Okay. So then we need a wrench. Loosening. I don't think there's like a way to check the coolant before you actually... I don't think there's a way to check the coolant before you put it in there. But, like, before you... I don't think that the engine's coolant is really an issue with it, though. But I really want to make sure that we've got coolant in there before we blow this engine up. We just got it. We just got it. It'd be really sad for it to explode. I'm gonna have to put, like, a YouTube short with what I've done by Linkin Park playing, like, with just like a blown up engine if that happens, and I don't want that. There we go. Okay, we brought the coolant just in case. Just gonna take that off, put it on top. We want to be really thorough about this. We don't want the engine exploding. The coolant is needed to keep the engine from overheating, by the way. And if it overheats, I believe you risk it exploding. And you also risk, like, the oil overheating. Like, if there's no oil in there, it'll, like, the parts will, like, scrape. That's probably why you saw, like, 3 pistons were, like, just totally junk whenever I was working on that engine. Just kind of... This is honestly like a very simple part to record. It's like I am sitting back doing nothing as the game just fills the radiator itself. It's really thirsty. I don't think it's actually filling any of it. I just want to make sure. Okay. Those are all junk. It should be good. It should be all that we need. Should be running. Oh wait. Forgetting one crucial part, the exhaust. It's like scatterbrain over here. Just about forgot. It would have been like, it would have been toast, like just done over. Okay. Okay. Exhaust. Thankfully, we can just, That's for a turbocharger. I believe we'll need these two. Just these two. Okay. Just assemble it here in the shop. Really professional. Oh man. I thought I could have. I thought I was being smart there. But apparently we can fit it in our backpack, so it'll be alright. I feel like it's by the volume, not necessarily the weight. It'd be kind of silly though if you could just put like a whole engine block in your backpack. Oh no. That was scary. I thought I was about to lose it, like just about anything you drop, like it just disappears. Like actually last episode found out some information about that. It was kind of silly. It was like if I went a certain distance, the car would just like the engine would just disappear. And of course, like when the episode's about over, it's like, yep, gonna stop raining. Lord have mercy. Okay, we'll skip back to when that's fixed. Alright, hello everybody. We're back. Minor setback. The exhaust header just kind of fell through the ground, unfortunately. But I've got a new one. We're installing it now. We're finally gonna have this thing up and running again in a little bit. Like that should be everything for the actually making it work. Check the value. The overall condition is still pretty bad. Why? It's probably got something to do with the bodywork. The clean state is pretty clean. It's not so rusty. Or should it be no stars if it's not rusty? We'll clean the... Okay, we'll clean it up next time. We'll like... We gotta finish this. We gotta like probably sand down the rusted parts and clean it up. We also gotta replace the rear differential. Well, like you can kind of see it here, but the rear drive shaft is like, it's all well, like axles are messed up, and then we also got some suspension issues here. Like that's totally rotted out. But if you like it, like leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever, you know, do all the things. And without further ado, I want you all to have a nice day, and you know, share it with a friend, share it with family, whoever you want. And you have a great day.